The LCS Challengers League is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car-sharing marketplace. Find your drive.
Subway's now slicing their meats fresh. Try a new deli hero from the Subway series and taste the difference for yourself.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to the LCS Summer Promotion Tournament, as we just had LiT Esports take down our top-seeded OQ team, and what I would call a little bit of drip style, something like that. How would you describe this one, Alk?
I would just describe it as Dragoon diff, man. You got gapped up in the top lane. This guy's literally, like, probably finished the game twice already at Baldur's Gate, and he is, like, he came back, zero sweat. He's like, okay, cool. I'm solo killing Alorum in lane. I'm going to get a pentakill for my team. And everybody on LiT's like, all right, man, cool. We'll take it. We are going to play really well. We got to play a little bit more of Kiss Nose style. Messages did well individually in the mid lane for some of that laning phase. So, I don't know, man. That was pretty weird. That was a weird game, especially coming in with our expectations.
Like, in every scenario that I've seen Mirage Alliance play a game like this, they end up winning. Somehow, some way, it happens. But not today. Not here in the promotion tournament. And I'm glad that we got this halftime break because, talk about not breaking a sweat. I have definitely done so. I have no AC in my apartment. It's very hot. I'm glad we get to calm down.
Me too, man.
A little bit.
Me too.
Well, you just wish that you were as dripped out as Dragoon's Darius
Oh, I'm
was,
dripping already.
As I hope Turo doesn't get too mad at me for saying this, because our Turo key drive is going to be Dragoon's Turo key smash. As, I don't know, just roll the clip, man. Let's see it one more time.
Yeah,
as Dragoon absolutely annihilated this game in the back half. And, I mean, I guess Darius scales, you know?
Yeah, it turns out when you give this champion, like, 7,000 attack damage, and he's just able to run around with a million movement speed ghost, it's pretty good. I mean, this execute is just disgusting. That's 1,000 HP off of Chad, and
look at this
we talked
one.
about that. Hey, Dragoon, there's a lot of champions that he has a difficulty dealing with as a Darius, but he got so far ahead, and specifically, I don't think Mirage Alliance got ahead enough that we got to see a lot of, like, really what they could have done. And unfortunately, Dragoon gave them 0 quarter to actually be able to get any of that done. As you take a look at the stats, like, the 40% damage share, man, that's nuts.
And
yeah,
remember,
usually when we see that number, we're like, that's a problem. That's really good.
And remember that this was a counter matchup that Alorum picked into. Look at the gold difference at 15. Like, he was up like 20, 30 CS at some point in that lane, but I mean, Dragoon does not care. I got to talk to him a little bit about like why he loves this champion so much, and he said the adrenaline of just running everybody down, no matter what, no matter how strong they are, it just is no better experience in League of Legends. And I'm glad that Dragoon got a bit of a nice one here in game 1.
I want to just like share with the fact that Dragoon does play a lot of these bruisers, like the Darius, like we've been talking about. His damage share is usually 25%. He's usually about a quarter of his team's damage. This is like a full other player. This is usually like 15% is usually what you get from like junglers if they're playing some fancy stuff. So he's exuding a lot of pressure. He is also just super impactful in this game. And there's a reason why Dragoon last split in spring was able to promote is performances like these that we've seen year on year from him that we're like, why is this guy not in tier 2? Why is this guy not playing? He has always been able to perform and has only gotten better as time gone on.
Yeah, all right. That's going to be enough of game 1.
There you go.
I'm done seeing Dragoon's Darius. I think it's going to be banned in game 2. Before we hop into the draft for key 2, or game 2, I should say, we have our Subway halftime refresh featuring one of my favorite games here, guys. We've got some... Oh, not that one. Here it is.
Hey!
Some Tic Tac trivia. So you guys have to pick a player, and from there, I have a trivia question. You have to answer. If you get it right, you get an X or an O. Grapes, I had you go first last time, so this time, Elk, you're going to get the pleasure of taking first go. So who do you want to guess?
Give me Sudsy.
Sudsy? Okay, Sudsy. In 21 spring, Sudsy won a UPL tournament. What team was he on?
Come on, man. You got this. I believe in you.
UPL 2021. It's 21 summer, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
No, it's spring.
Spring. Revival.
It was indeed Revival.
Woo!
Well done. So
good team.
we're gonna that was actually a good team. Hold on, we're gonna do this live.
I remember watching him on Revival. They were going up against, funnily enough, Mirage at the time. And that was the first game that I think Manny would have casted on Challengers of,
Yes,
I think.
it was good.
So, yeah.
Very well done. Grapes, you are now up. What do
I
you
mean,
got?
the strat's to go middle, right? So give me Dardoch.
Dardoch. All right, this is a fun one. Oh, also, let's get the bonus. All right,
All right.
this one's fun. How many teams have Dardoch
There's no
and
way.
Alorum competed together on?
Okay, I thought you were gonna say how many teams, and this guy has a notoriously long
I know.
Wikipedia page, so I'm glad that you didn't. Okay.
So I threw a twist on it. It's just how many teams have him and Alorum competed on?
So I think Optic was 1. Echo Fox maybe, and then UST.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say 3.
3?
Oh, including this one, 4. Oh,
yeah,
and 5. Oh shoot. Oh,
why?
man.
What?
Okay.
So the
Team
bonus question.
Team Fish Taco as well. I'll say
Okay.
5.
Okay. 5. That your final answer?
Yes, that's my final answer.
All right, you got them all. There is a bonus
Nice.
one. It is indeed 6. Now, this is actually the first ever team that either of these players would have competed on.
Oh,
And
there's no
it
way.
was epic
I
back
was
in
like-
2014.
Ah. Okay.
I was like
Yeah.
5 years old when that happened, man. There's no
Yeah,
way I get that.
yeah.
one.
I'm sorry about that. So you are gonna miss that one. Unfortunately, the middle now goes to the wayside. So Elk Battery. Looks like if you want to build off that first X you got to pick someone on the
Corner.
other side.
Yeah. Give me Alorum.
Alorum. Oh wow. Okay, this is interesting. All right, Alorum. Name
Let's do it.
one of Alorum's OG NACL OQ teams.
You mean Challenger Series?
Challenger Series when he was trying to
Okay.
promote in the LCS. Name
I'm
very
one
glad he
of the
did.
OG teams.
Crap. Okay. Oh, this was not that team. It's. Wait, was that a Tyler 1 tournament or not? This is actually so
It's
doomed.
not. It's not a T1 tournament.
I know. Give me. Holy crap, this is awful. Give me Team Gates.
It is not Team Gates. That is not it.
All right.
The correct answer is it would have been Zenith, Serpentist, Avalanche, Loyal Till Familian. Those were the teams that he competed
Yeah,
on.
no one was gonna get that except that first one, dog. Let's be right.
He failed to qualify 4 times, but of course Alorum has been around for a long time, and it's great to see him continue to try and qualify for Challenger Series here, but that's 2 misses. I've done a good job
Wait.
picking the trivia questions. What's up?
I'm looking at it. I think it's unwinnable for me at this point because I can't.
No,
get any...
you never know. You gotta pray
Just
for
play.
a miss.
Just
Who
play.
you
Okay,
guessing? Who you
We'll
guessing?
play. We'll play. I'm gonna guess. I'll go Neo.
All right, Neo. What was Neo's original IGN, and when he promoted, what team did he promote to in LCS?
I'm gonna scream.
Okay. It's Asta.
Yes.
And he promoted on Dig. But he changed his name to Neo then.
Nope. That was the second time.
No,
He originally promoted to Optic.
Yes.
And he
Oh,
was
I'm
teammates
such a
with
fraud. I'm such a
Alorum
fraud.
and Dardoch on Optic.
Yes, and that
Yeah.
was when Dardoch played like a random jungle, or he played like a support game of like Tom Kench. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
I'm overdealt, man. This is bad.
All right. Moving on. Elk, what do we got?
We have already done the other like 3 corners, so let's just get Chad out of the way.
Okay, Chad. Name 2 of Chad's Proving Grounds finishes. I need team, year, and placement.
100x 2021 summer. Oh, I forget the number of the placement, man. Can I be like boring and say like top?
Top 16.
No, I'm not doing top 16. That's cringe. Top 4?
Okay, that's 1.
No.
Continue.
Okay. And then
I'm just. You get
Yeah.
to name 2.
yeah. Oh my god, Chad, what did you play on? Cringer dog. There's an Immortals roster somewhere where he's able to get it done, I think, but maybe that's too. Yeah,
You gotta hurry up, dude. We got more.
Dude, I'm running out. I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna have to cut you off. So
Yeah, but-
you're wrong anyway, because he played
All
with 100A in 21 summer.
He won.
He had to
Oh.
sub in and
Yeah.
won.
Yeah, I know.
Then it was IMT in 4th, IMT 5th, 6th, and then IMT 9 through 12. And now Chad's here. Moving on, Grapes. We are kind of low on time.
Yeah. I'll,
so-
I'll speed run these. Give me messages.
All right, messages. Native, CLG Faith, LiT, Tempest, and Third Party. Which team has messages not competed on out of those?
Third party. No. Tempest. He hasn't played on
Hello?
Tempest. Hasn't played on
What?
Tempest. It's Tempest. It was
He
Tempest.
called.
I was trying
No.
to speed run it. No?
I mean, it doesn't matter. Both are wrong because he played on the Last Dance, not COG Faith. So,
Oh,
you know.
you're so. Oh, that's cringe. That's so cringe.
No,
Get
out.
I
Oh my
got
God.
him. That's trivia.
He had
baby.
the CLGF tournament realm tag. He tweeted it for a little bit. He
yeah,
was
but there
scrimming
was-
with the team for a little bit.
It was. It's actually
Get
one
out.
day on the
Get
Leaguepedia,
out.
but he
I
never
win. I
technically
got on the
competed with
board.
them. Anyway, Elk, what's
All
up?
right.
I'm on
I
the
guess
board.
he
Give me
wins.
Rock Boom.
Rock Boom. So Rock Boom competed in Spring OQ under
Yes.
a team named after him and his support. What was the team name and what was his support's name?
Rock Bottom Esports, and it was Rocks 508. I forget the numbers. in this
908.
thing.
I win.
No, you're going
Boom.
to jail.
All right. Guess what? That at least I get to put on another X at least. You know, we do like that. Because it's
Rox is great on Twitter, by the way. Not Rock Boom is also good, but Rox does a lot of like he'll like tweet out a bunch of like, hey, don't rage in your solo queue game. Be a good teammate to everybody. I'm like, you know what? I like that.
All right. Do we have one more?
right,
I
just-
believe
We have Kisno.
It's
Get-
Kisno.
Wait,
All right.
did we do
And
Dragoon
Dragoon,
yet?
and we have Kisno and Dragoon.
All right.
We
Real
gotta
quick.
do just one Dragoon because
Kisno. Who did Kisno beat to qualify with Supernova in the spring?
who'd he beat?
Which team did they beat to get in?
Oh, Team Fish Taco.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
All right, Dragoon. Coming into today, Dragoon's Darius is a 71% win rate in 28 games. What is his gold diff at 10? Closer one wins out of the two of you.
Like total?
Yes.
Oh,
Negative
No.
100.
His average gold diff at 10.
Negative 100.
350.
It is plus 471, so Grapes wins.
All right.
Okay, at
Fair
least I
enough.
got
Alright.
one.
You're
I
on the
got
board,
one.
bro.
I got one.
That would put you on the board. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. So we're going to send it back on over to Grapes and Elk Battery only to get you into the Game 2 draft.
Thank God.
Man, I guess there's a reason that we haven't been called up yet, Hulk. It's because we can't do these games very well.
What
We're
do
not
you
very
mean?
good at them.
I did fine. I've got
That's 2-1.
I
We
got
only got
two.
33%
You were
combined. It's not.
barely
That's
on
still
the
a
board
failing
there,
grade.
brother man. You were scraping
I'm-
by. You got
I'm
a
looping
freebie
you.
and you threw it.
I'm
for the
looping you
Kisno
into
one.
this with us. We did not the great apparently. Okay. Here we go. Game 2 draft. LiT Esports still staying on the blue side, which is interesting. It means that Mirage do want to stay red, which is not something that we saw in previous iterations of NACL. However, with this new patch, maybe things have changed a little bit.
Seems like everything is kind of staying very similar though, as interested to see the Kindred ban here for Mirage. Kisno obviously has played a fair bit of it. He only has one game, but we look at Chad and he has been a monster on this champion, so I think taking it away is pretty interesting. We also saw the Rel get banned last time around. Don't think we're going to see all that much different.
There it is.
And there it is. We were waiting for it. We saw last game. If you were here, Dragoon pentakill. That's all you needed to see. I'm glad that they're showing off the set though, because that was a champion that yet again was a very big Dragoon pick for a long time.
Another first pick Azir, so Message is really taking priority in this champion. I am interested though here, Alk. This is the patch where we were talking about the assassins getting buffed. You know, the Akali, the Sylas, the Echo. Suddenly is known to play these in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Do we see something like that here as a response to the Azir? Because it was very good. However, there's that Ziggs once again.
Oh, are we doing the salty run back? We even got Graves here for it. Like, we got everything is the same so far, so maybe that is. But just in case,
A little different.
look,
It
the
is a little
Ziggs was
different.
totally fine. Again, it is one of those things that they know it's not a flex anymore, but Neo is now going to be on the Xayah, which gives him a lot more, you know, if they are going to go forward, if they're going to try and, you know, put a lot of pressure on him bottom lane, it is something that, hey, was going to be taken away. We're going to be looking at, hey, we're going to use the Featherstorm. And kind of hard to get rid of the Caitlyn. You got to see 0% pick, hasn't played a game. It's been banned literally last game. So,
Yep.
like, there is a big Caitlyn buff on this patch, though. So I'm obviously excited to see a little bit more of this champion.
And if I'm not mistaken, Rockboom has played this a lot. He played it while he was on Rock Bottom, I believe, as like a champion that can really dominate the laning phase down bottom. And we'll see if that happens. I mean, he definitely had a great game on the Vayne, a little bit of a different playstyle this time around, trying to really establish himself early.
Okay. So now LiT, they have very solid ability to actually set up a line of defense. They can put down traps. You have the Azir, who's going to have long range. But I am looking for what Sudsy can do on this Ziggs, because it is so pivotal when you are going even, or if Ziggs is ahead, that he can poke out someone like a Caitlyn, like an Azir. And when you also have a Jarvan here, I think that it provides a lot of engage. So now we'll have to see how Mirage Alliance can actually follow up on Chad with this champion. We get into the second phase of bans. We already see that Kisno has taken his Volley Bear here again. So I expect a lot of focus towards our supports. Rakan should be very big priority. You already see that, hey, give Dardoch an Enchanter or someone that can give Engage. I think it's very dangerous.
Yeah, the Nautilus now taken away. Leona has been another thing, another pick that we've seen kind of in place of the Rakan Rel Nautilus duo. I'm wondering what LiT want to do here, especially because Caitlyn opens up different opportunities in the bottom lane. If you remember, Plux, back in his time on Fear and on No Team, and throughout his time in Tier 3 as a whole in previous years, was a very good Enchanter player. And that is something that goes well with this Caitlyn. So we'll see if that is a bit of a deviation in playstyle that we see from LiT here in this draft.
Oh, there was going to be a Caitlyn Lux potential. I'm glad that Mirage Alliance sniped that away. They take that immediately. LiT taking away the Poppy here from Alorum. Already had seen the Jarvan. I don't think Jarvan was going to be something we see from Alorum. It's not really been his kind of spice. He has been more of a lot of the different melee bruisers, specifically like a Trundle, like Urgot, like you were talking about earlier. Shen taken away tells me that they want a K'Sante up in the top lane for Dragoon, as that has been Alorum's counter pick every single time that there's a K'Sante in the opponent team. Rakan was not something that they took away. They also had the Nautilus as well, so I'm wondering what LiT are going to go for in the support position. You could go for something like a Thresh to try to stop Engage, but it would be, it's a bit tough. And I think if you have a Rakan, he's going to get very creative on the flanks.
Oh, this is interesting. Does this get locked in? A Wukong here. I believe that's going to go towards Kisno, and Dragoon will be blinding that Volibear into the top lane. LiT Esports team very comfortable flexing this around. Kisno loves this Wukong. I would be very surprised to see this go to the top side.
Right. Well, we'll see what Alorum is going to take here as we finally get to see what all of LiT's draft is. Very good Engage if they're actually able to get in there. They want to have a lot of priority from the bottom lane. That's typically what you love to see with a Caitlyn. And so playing around Dragons, making sure that their first two objectives, we are getting Plux's Heimerdinger. So we're kicking it old school here, and now even getting a Scion in the top lane here for Alorum. This is not going to be very favorable if this is the Volibear in the top lane. So yeah, I'm worried for Mirage Alliance.
Yeah, Alorum is basically just sacking the top lane, which is not surprising given his history and what he does as a player in time. But Dragoon, again, has a really good opportunity to take over this game. Volibear into tanks, very solid. You can just continue to whack away at him and do a ton of percent health damage, missing health, healing with your W. Top lane volley in the promotion tournament. That's not something I expected. This is like a draft that we might have seen like a couple years ago from LiT. Like these champions have all kind of been meta in the past, but not really used to seeing them here.
They're from different eras as well. Like LiT have their time portal opened up. They've got the Volibear sitting in the corner. He came in off of like a temporal portal. You've got the Wukong dropping in from the beginning of the year from spring. Mirage Alliance, they have this Ziggs who's going to have to be very big, and my eyes are also going to be on Dardoch. The engagers for Mirage Alliance really need to find their footing. If they can't get onto this backline, if they can't disrupt an Azir, I think we're going to be in very big trouble.
All set to go for game number 2, but before we hop in, let's hear from Chad about what he thinks Mirage Alliance's strengths and weaknesses are.
30 seconds.
I mean, unfortunately, I can't even say that we're like the best team. We just have the best players. Like our team play is whatever, it's good for the level, but it's not even that we're the best team. We just have the best players individually in every single role. So it's kind of like we get lazy because we don't even have to like focus to play as a team, because when every lane's winning and every lane's gapping their opponents, you're just gonna be winning games fundamentally.
Well,
that's a Chad Jungle answer right there. Yeah,
that backfired really badly in game 1 for them.
They thought they had the better players. That's what the draft kind of suggested. It didn't really work out for them as LiT were able to take control. Look at that prediction in the chat right now. 90% towards our number 60, the lowest seed coming into the promotion tournament. Looks like some Mirage fans are coming back here, so make sure to spam the chat if you want to tell us who you think is going to win. But I'm all set for this game off. This series suddenly got super interesting.
I was also going to say that the LiT fans in the last game were also out in force. Mirage Alliance, maybe it really is that 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m. somewhere, because they did not show up for the vote. Also, if you want to get involved with the game, you can go ahead and tweet hashtag NACL, and there's a chance for your tweet to get shown on stream. You might even interact with it. It's really nice. So, taking a very big chunk early on here for LiT as they're moving in. They're just getting their Heimerdinger set up. We'll have to see how Dardoch and Neo can navigate this lane, as a single misstep turns into about 40% of your HP going missing, and definitely not the case you want to be in if you're just trying to survive the Caitlyn and MIR.
Very interesting to see this bottom lane come out here for Rockboom and Flux. Again, this is something that we saw maybe a fair amount in spring, but LiT Esports really pulling out all the cards. Flux has definitely played a lot of Heimerdinger in his day. Was one of the most played champions he had on CLG Faith when he first started that off. And Message is also playing a lot of Heimerdinger back in UPL last year. So definitely a champion that is comfortable with this team. And I'm super excited to see how it works out.
Oh my god, look at this. As long as Dragoon can get those W's off, all of those chomps are going to take a bite out of crime versus Alorum. Like we were talking about earlier, you can use that hashtag to get those subscriptions in if you can go ahead and support
this is your last chance.
Some of the Challenger League, LCS Challenger League teams. Revenue sharing has been, pretty fun, and a lot of teams have been kind of taking part and getting in on some of that action and making sure that they're showing off some of their emotes that we've gotten for the stream.
Yeah, this is your last chance, the last week, last couple of days to support some of these NA players. Maybe some of them are playing
Oh, you
right
can
here.
sub for the rest of the year.
I mean,
this is not your last day. Just because there's no games going on the stream, you can still get the emotes.
That's fair. Catch me and all spamming the emotes in offline chat.
There you go.
Yeah. Engage down here in the bottom lane as Dardoch and Neo really can't do much. I feel like things are going to kind of stall out a little bit because the lane states are pretty much very stable at this point. Advantage towards one way or the other.
Well, I like that we didn't touch too much on the junglers just because of how much action has not really been going on, but they both cleared towards the bottom side. Chad actually going for the scuttle and then moving into top side instead of going for some other camps. I love that Kisno actually snuck into this bottom wave, not only as a way to help if there is a counter coming out from Chad, but if they do get a little bit spicy from Dardoch and Neo, they are just there and ready to go. Playing for this bottom lane, playing for this Caitlyn and Heimerdinger is what we expect. And we've got Dragon spawning in a minute. I think if they're able to get a recall in, if we see Kisno start to get a little bit feisty in mid lane, that is when they can start to open up the objectives and to open up a bigger lead.
Yeah, right now, gonna keep things pretty quiet for now. At Taitom, I love Mirage, but I also love my GOAT Deadbody and his team. Yeah, shout out to Deadbody, founder of LiT Esports, bringing his organization, who I think participated in some other games in the past, here to League of Legends. And hey, it's a pretty good first year, I have to say.
It's really funny because Deadbody, the first thing he said to me was like, hey, we need casters. We just need people to stream their games, and I loved when we got to have people other than us streaming the qualifier games. There were so many games we had to get through in spring, and at least
all of them.
LiT and all the other orgs who were able to help out with that were doing a great job there. So good to see that there's other Orgornos who are getting active in the scene and helping out where they can. So early on, not much happening. I mean, Dragoon's crashing a really big wave. We've been watching Flux and Rockboom just send these minions in. They have about a 10 CS lead, but I mean, for the time being, this is not the worst. It is a plate that has already gone over to this bottom lane, so have to be worried and have to keep watching how much they can actually extend their lead.
And right now, the one part of the map where Mirage Alliance have the pushing power is in the mid lane with Sudsy, and with that pressure exerted onto Messages, it does allow for Chad to go down and take that first dragon of the game.
This could be a solo.
Dragoon also feeling pretty low, but they will trade ultimates as the volley hits 6, meaning that nobody will go down.
I was very worried there, looking at the experience bars there for Dragoon. He was so close to 6, just needed a few more minions. If Alorum had just pulled the trigger, I think there's very realistically a way for him to do that. Good use of the E-shield there, able to block out that turret shot. So close to getting a plate, finally goes over. On the bottom side, Mirage get the first dragon, so off of a good timer, a good punish, but not what we were expecting for LiT, especially when we look at this bottom lane and what they're able to do usually.
Oh, Dragoon getting very low, has to be careful. Does have a lot of missing HP healing if you can get that second proc the Q, or sorry, the W, but if Alorum finds a good angle, a right opportunity, that matchup can shift around like we saw in game number 1, kind of on the opposite end. So Dragoon, they're going to heal up a little bit as LiT Esports instead making a play towards the bottom lane. Neo and Dardoch are hovering in a bush right now. LiT are waiting for this wave to shove a little bit more. Rockboom going to play aggressive, and here comes the engage. 4 members of LiT Esports are not even going to get a summoner spell.
Fantastic stuff out from Neo, or coming out from Dardoch to stop all of that engage, and they do get the teleport out from Sudsy, so it is a minor win for LiT. as they're able to then crash this next wave. You see Chad is starting to clear out vision. That is just so much of an investment on bottom side. Messages will be the first one to pick up this wave. It's a small win for the side of LiT yet again, right? We're getting to that point. There is a Baron or a Herald spawning in about 45. See how what they're able to get done. Getting the summoner spell out of Suds would be huge.
Emperor's Divide comes out for Messages. He has the big HP lead with the Mega Inferno Bomb. It will make sure that the trade is even. Just the ultimates, no summoners, nothing like that. As mid lane remains in a pretty even state, which is a good thing for Messages so far. Chad, though, looking maybe for an engage. Still a flash on the Azir, so just pressuring him out and getting this wave shoved in.
So careful. I love that Chad is just showing near mid, as anytime Azir puts down a single soldier, you got to be like, maybe I can go for something. Maybe we can force out a lot of mana from him, but he's very low. You look at the HP advantage that Sudsy currently has, almost solo killing Messages at this point. We talked about that Herald being something that they could play for. Wukong is on this side of the map. Neo is taking a recall. I want to see if LiT are going to move more members over to this, because I think it is absolutely illegal that we've now gotten a Dragon going over to Mirage Alliance with this bottom lane, and potentially a Rift Herald being threatened here thanks to the mid lane play. Lux kind of fluctuating between the two. It seems like he is finally going to commit to that play. Heimerdinger is so disgusting around neutral objectives. Not only the control, the amount of damage that his turrets are able to do versus these objectives is just really insane, especially for what is now tagged as a support champion. Probably shouldn't be. Gotta find a way.
That's what we're doing here in 2023. You know, Flux, he's doing a lot of supporting, helping Rock Boom out in that bottom lane. That's all we can say. Dragoon and Alorum continue to trade. It actually is a huge fully charged queue out of Alorum, but neither of them want to trade those ultimates. Meanwhile, it is Kisno actually starting up that Rift Herald. He's almost done with it, I believe, as Messages has returned back to lane. Chad maybe looking for the steal. Hovering over there, does not want to send himself to his doom, so he will allow that Herald to go over to lane.
It's difficult, right, for Chad to go over. It's probably going to be a one-way trip. If not, it's going to be the flash being used, and just don't want to do that, especially for such an early objective. You already saw that because Messages did have to recall first, he gets back out onto the map, and he's the first one to be able to move. Chad, unfortunately, is not able to answer that. Now, it looks like he's coming in with the wave. Alorum does not have a sweeper, so Chad will get spotted on this. Dragoon's fighting, however.
1v2, here we go. Stormbringer out, using that unstoppable to his advantage. Chad has flash, and the Cataclysm not going to go for that play. So just Alorum forcing Dragoon out as we kind of at a standstill at the 10-minute mark of this game.
We're hanging out, you know?
We're chilling.
Teams, chilling. Hanging out, not doing much. We're waiting for more items. We're waiting for objectives to spawn here. Sure, Mirage Alliance are like, yes! After last game, we will take that. And for LiT, they have a team composition that is very much, needing to get an early advantage, specifically this bottom lane, because hey, Caitlyn, she does a lot of damage, especially with the changes on this patch. If you didn't see, it is now 6 auto attacks to be able to grab that headshot, especially if you're in a bush, you get double of those. So very, very difficult to deal with this champion now if you get those headshots. It's very nice. It's going to be a pretty tangible damage increase if you're constantly auto attacking. You already see Neo. He's forgone the boots, and he's going straight for the Kraken Slayer. He wants to be powerful right now. See what they're able to do. Everybody's converging around the bottom lane.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of poke, forcing the Featherstorm out. Flux does not get rooted with the drag back. So will be just the engage coming through from Dardoch. Okay, a big play in the bottom lane of Mirage Alliance. Looks like they might be able to win this one. The Ignite's ticking and Flux will go down. First blood to Dardoch, but it's traded right back as Neo falls. Kisno gets dunked down with the Cataclysm and will make it a trade as Alorum TP's in and is going to try and find a kill onto Rockboom with the Unstoppable Onslaught. There is a flash on the Caitlyn. It looks like he'll be okay for now. Dardoch using the Grand Entrance and forcing the Summoner spell out of the cave.
What was initially, I thought, a pretty good win for LiT turns into complete catastrophe for them as Neo. I think that Triumph needs a bit of maybe a key drive at the end. It saves him just enough that it forces Kisno to overextend himself. Flash gets trapped in with the Cataclysm. This entire time, Sudsy was moving on over. He even got some damage onto the Dragon so he can start it up for his jungler. So now Mirage Alliance will take those kills. Which you start up this Dragon as well. Was very afraid. It took a single Heimerdinger auto attack, but Chad is on point with those smites. You can see a little bit more of this team. LiT, I think, made a pretty critical error now. They're now 2 dragons down. They got that Rift Herald, only got a little bit of damage onto this bottom lane, but hey, they got the Featherstorm out of Neo. That's nice, I guess.
It was a 3v3 turned into a 3v4 with the teleport from Alorum, and a nice job by Darda finding the engage. Flux was able to get his full combo down, but that first blood does save Neo with the triumph.
Look at Neo here. Gets the triumph, and obviously, like we talked about it, Kisno has to flash in. He's already gone down. They got the teleport, like you were saying. Finally, the Rift Herald is now procced, so they will now grab themselves the tier 1 in the bottom side, but this was just good hands coming out from Rockboom. As Dragoon takes 0 damage from this Zaya right now.
But on that W2?
Yeah, that felt pretty cool. Sudsy now getting alone time with this turret. You're also seeing Neo having to stay up here, and he's putting damage down as well. Mirage Alliance, you see the gold advantage is not in their favor, but I'd say right now I favor them with where they're at in the game.
Yeah, you have Neo in a pretty good spot despite the lane advantage. Dardoch going in with a dive onto the bottom lane. This would be big if Dragoon goes down. But each of the Stormbringers survive. Now, a trade, a potential turn here for LiT Esports. Plucks some messages on the chase. The Blast Cone will buy enough space for now. Messages does have the flash. He finds the scoop onto Neo. He issues out the Featherstorm, but Chad is on the way. A kill onto Neo, but Messages will fall as Chad is here to respond. Just a 1-for-1, but a nice play from Messages.
Just a little too desperate for my liking coming out from LiT, as it feels like they're just going for really any play that presents itself. That's not always the best case scenario, as they're getting pressure onto this top side. Kisno is here.
Sudsy, one more tower shot, he's dead! He just tanks the tower aggro. I think he might have hit Flux with one of the E's. That is a kill onto the Mirage mid laner, and now Kisno and Flux looking for Chad. Kisno has the Cyclone. Will he go forward? Nimbus Strike is available, but they will not go under the turret for it.
Wow, very, very close here. LiT, they're getting advantages now, right? Like, it was after the bottom lane. We saw that Rockboom went into mid, was able to grab some of this wave. He has a small advantage over Neo. With the Stormrazor as well, he's going to be very, very good at slowing down what Mirage Alliance wanted to do. If they get on top of him, if they're ever able to have an extended fight around as is Caitlyn, Neo is going to be in a very tough spot here. Items starting to get completed just across the board. Big one for me is Flux. The timer on him being able to finish his first item, getting close to that, what looks to be a Leandri's, it's going to be a very big spike as he's going to do so much damage there.
That's kind of another buff of having this double ranged lane. You have basically a mid laner in the support role. He can do a lot of damage, and that is what LiT Esports needs in this position to burn down some of these tanks like Alorum and Chad in the front line if a team fight does come out. Second Rift Herald spawning soon. Mirage Alliance gaining priority. They have sent their bot lane here. Seems like they want to make sure that Shelly doesn't go LiT's way.
I swear, like, they were like, okay guys, so this champion Heimerdinger in support for Worlds is really a big Flux. You have Flash, you have Vision. Okay. They were like, okay, Heimerdinger for support, really annoying, we don't want to deal with this anymore. And so Riot was like, okay, so what about Heimerdinger, or what about Maokai, where he does the same thing? It's just like, throws down saplings. It's so difficult for Mirage to get in if LiT have set up. These traps are difficult to walk through. They don't have a lot of terrain crossing aside from someone like Chad. And so I think moving away from this Rift Herald, I mean, you're just never going to get into position. Let's get some damage on this mid lane. Let's see how much we can take away, because we have, you know, we have this Jarvan who's providing attack speed. We have Neo who has this Kraken Slayer. And we have Ziggs.
Yeah. Flux, yeah, that's what Ziggs does. Flux with a lone defender, and, you know, even though he's kind of strong on the Heimerdinger, not nearly enough to take on all 5 members of Mirage, and so they'll pick up their first turret of the game in the mid lane. Dragon now spawning in 47 seconds. You see some resets coming through from LiT. They want to make sure they're at their highest potential strength threshold before that objective spawns. But I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Here comes the Black Flag and Drag from Chad. They're going to lock down Flux. He doesn't have any summoner spells and will die to the Mega Inferno Bomb of Sudsy. A 4v5 now for Mirage as they force Kisno away and make their way towards the Drake.
30 seconds before this objective is spawned. You're going to get Vision. I want to see how deep it's going to be, because you really want to be able to stop them. Just don't think it's going to be LiT's turn. Instead, corralling around the mid lane. Flux will be up in 5 seconds. He'll be back in about 15 after that. Alorum is ulting and they want to find Rockboom.
Unstoppable Onslaught is going to go towards Rockboom. He does not flash the ability and will maybe pay for it with his life. Yeah, that's him going down as Neo picks up the kill. The trade, though, on the other side. A huge ulti from Kisno, and Dragoon is going to dash down onto the enemies as well. Messages still untouched, still doing a ton of damage on the Azir as Dardoch has to battle dance away to safety. Alorum still massive on the front line, able to soak up enough damage to to allow Mirage Alliance to get out with just the 1-for-1.
It's a battle of Neo versus Messages. Maybe a Matrix 4 coming out soon, but he was pumping damage after damage out on that one, and unfortunately, it was like the team didn't know whether or not he was going to go for it. I saw potential for a scoop there from Messages, and so it stops him from getting the Baron. Small victory there for LiT, but Mirage continue to have that gold lead, and now Rockboom has reset. He has picked up some more items. Same with Neo here, and we've got Hex Tech gates, so they get right back out onto the map. We're staring to see this fight yet again. Big thing, there's no flash from either of these junglers, and ultimates, I mean, Chad's is almost up.
Kisno's is not, and that's a big difference right there. Looks like Mirage Alliance trying to pick up their third Dragon. Dardoch able to dash away, and it looks like Dragon's at half HP. Plux and Kisno looking to frontline just a little bit as Alarm issues out a big decimating smash, but it gets cancelled by the stun of Plux. Chad's going in. Chad's got the dunk. Chad's got a kill, and Alarm will die on the backside. It's a 1-for-1 once again. The zombie form will push Dragoon out of the fight, as LiT are still playing aggressive. The Dragon has still not been taken, and they're trying to flank Mirage out. There's the Sky Splitter. It will zone them away, and Mirage Alliance are going to make their way back to the objective.
Numbers advantage for the time being. It looks like LiT, they're waiting for this ult from Kisno.
Yeah, they're going to try to collapse on one flank. They try to find Kisno, but they only get the clone for now. A big shutdown finds the way of Sudsy, and now Dragoon trying to get away. Messages still at full HP.
Nice.
A nice dash away, preventing the engage from landing of Dardoch, but it will still be a second kill picked up for the Ziggs. Messages and Rockboom trying to fight this down to 2v4. They have to kite. They have to get away. And here comes Chad. Does not have the ulti, but still in a good position.
Oh!
Here's the Emperor's Divide. Messages trying to carry this game. He gets 3 kills for LiT and saves the Dragon from going down.
This is the most insane Dragon we've had, and we're only like, what is happening right now? They are just fighting insane. Like, there's just such an extended fight around the Dragon there. Caitlyn's just like, okay guys, well I'm getting outranged. There's a Ziggs in front of me. Dragoon tries to find a flank. It starts with Kisno dying. Plux died, respawned, and is already back into this play. Alorma TP'd in. This fight was so extended. And for the side of LiT, it meant that they were able to get more damage onto relevant members. Look at where Messages is. Full HP. Dardoch, great engages multiple times throughout all of this.
I mean, Mirage did what the textbook play, which is the collapse on one end of the flank, but this is where the skill of LiT Esports' players really kind of shine. Messages being a big leader for this team, and him alongside Rockboom just have the hands to outplay this into 2v4.
And I love the story for Messages. Obviously, someone who just wants to promote, wants to be a professional for so long. We saw it in spring on that native roster.
Oh,
they got so close to being able to qualify for the promotion tournament in spring. Unfortunate they weren't able to get that. We talked to him a couple of times, both off and on air, and he talked about how important it was for him to actually come up. That subway damage down that last team fight shows it. He stood proud for his team, and after what happened with the last dance, he really wanted to show that he was a player to be reckoned with and someone that should be looked at when we're talking about Challengers League spots.
Yeah, so many players kind of getting shut down by the system in a way. Like, you know, Messages didn't get the greatest opportunity on the last dance. That team really wasn't in a good position after the merger was, or the purchase was announced, and Dragoon and Kisno got to talk to them. I got to talk to Dragoon a little bit, and he was saying how the Supernova, they wanted to play together as 5 again, but the roster kind of just fell before their eyes just due to the situations that unfolded in the offseason. And so these are all players capable of playing at this level, and it's really cool to see them show up right now.
Weird offseason, you know, happens here as LiT now finishing a couple of items. They're using some of that gold lead in certain spots. Talked about it. Plux now finishing that. The Leandries, the Rylai should be next. You have Rockboom now with 2 items as well, so he should be able to pop off a little bit. Look on the opposite side, Sudsy, 3-1-1, someone that I've thought constantly was one of the best players for this team, one of the most consistent alongside Neo. Someone that maybe didn't get all of the praise. A lot of games were on Tristana, but his individual play has been really excellent so far. And on the Ziggs, he just has one job: poke out both Azir and Caitlyn. That's all you need to do. And so far, he's been doing that for the most part in every one of these fights.
And that's the thing for Sudsy, you know, as we were talking about in the pre-show, him being able to take a step back and realize that he's got to do what's best for his team this split. And that's maybe chunking out messages here, canceling that recall. Here comes Chad. The Emperor's Divide comes out, but messages does not have flash in a really bad spot. Can he win this down to 1v2? No. It will be Sudsy picking up that kill just as we're praising him.
Okay. Messages did want to have to go for a recall. You see he immediately finished off the Nashers. Interesting that he goes for the Berserker Greaves here for the attack speed. We've been seeing a lot of just the Sword Pen boots, but it seems like he's really indexed on wanting to get more attacks out with the soldiers. Perfectly fine. It's one of those player preference things that you're kind of interested to see sometimes. See how much of an influence. Maybe there's not too many tanks, although I say that Sion's starting to pick up some items here.
Yeah.
I don't know if
That's
Chad's really going for a very tanky build, but Dardoch certainly is.
And it seems like Dragoon on the volley hasn't been able to win out on this matchup maybe as much as he thought he was going to be able to. He's down 2 levels to Alorum, and I mean, we say it again, we say it once, we say it again, this is kind of what Alorum does. Shut down some of these strong top laners, even after giving up a pentakill from his opposition, still holding it down on the Sion.
Alorum, what he does is, he says, cool, you may have won laning phase, you may have solo killed me a couple times. I don't care. I'm playing a tank. I'm going to be infinitely more useful than you throughout the game as we go on. That's really been Mirage Alliance's bread and butter. Even we saw the substitutions with Alorum's internet going out. They had Dardoch, Viscera playing a couple of different roles. A lot of it, when we got to the interview, was maybe we should just play with Alorum's champion pool. He just can't play right now because of the substitution. Let's just try to do that, and that worked out wonders for them. See how much Sudsy is actually controlling space by having all these bombs, putting down the minefields. It's so difficult for LiT to walk in, especially when how telegraphed. There's only one entrance. There's a dragon spawning in 45, so the longer they can keep them here, the better.
Alorum just not caring about any damage that LiT can put down. Got half HP. Chad's at half as well. Dragon spawning in 35. LiT did use both of their teleports to stop that Baron attempt from Mirage Alliance, so in theory, it's a win for our higher seed, but LiT Esports now have tempo. They have the advantage. They can push this mid lane out and look for a play.
Yeah, these double teleports will mean that they're first onto the play here, especially because of this Azir turret in the mid lane. 15 seconds now here for the Dragon. LiT, you know, they've already gotten one. They are starting to stack up these Hex Dragons individually. The stats on them are not that bad for this team. Ability haste and attack speed, especially for someone like this Caitlyn, this Azir, going to be excellent. Even someone like Dragoon on the volley bear is able to use them very well. And have to be careful though, even with how important this Dragon is for Baron.
Alorum using the Unstoppable Onslaught as Message is able to dash away. A huge grand entrance from Dardoch combined with the bomb will not do enough to take a kill as the first one goes towards LiT. Chad is the flag and drag away. LiT Esports are just too damn strong here in this game.
But it's one of those things that we haven't really touched on. Everybody on the side of Mirage Alliance, they go forward. Xayah does not. Xayah is sitting, guys, I gotta set up my feathers. I have to be in range to be able to auto attack. So now they're getting towards this dragon. But like we talked about before this fight, there's a Baron on the opposite side. And you see immediately Mirage Alliance move on over. Dragoon and Kisno are taking their time. They're gonna stop them from getting this objective. And now Mirage Alliance, they may have a gold lead, but I think they need to start worrying, feeling that sweat drip down, saying, guys, I think we're in a bit of a tough spot.
Even up that dragon count as 2. There's really no play for a soul for a very long time at this point. And so Mirage Alliance, even though they're up 1,500 gold, are being challenged again by a team that not a lot of people expected to do so. There's only one game that they played. Mirage Alliance did win, although it was close between these two teams. But this was our number 4 seed, a new roster coming together, and it looks like they finally have gelled as a unit and are really taking Mirage Alliance to town.
What a big statement for LiT if they are able to grab this. For Mirage, they still have 2 games at the very minimum for them. Or I guess this would be their last game if they do end up losing this, and would kind of turn all of our expectations for this tournament on its head. Because that means immediately Mirage Alliance, they sink into the lower bracket. We'll have to see what happens. Don't want to get too much in the weeds of that if that ends up not coming true. Mirage Alliance are going to start up this Baron yet again. Remember, none of those teleports from LiT are available yet again. We're starting to see Sudsy gets caught out.
He flashes away already, but the ace in the hole comes out. Kisno picks up the shutdown, and that's a big player, a big carry for Mirage Alliance down. It's a 4v5 as LiT Esports maybe make their way towards the Baron. Kisno does not have the ulti, but can still look for an engage. Chad at the flag and drag away, and LiT will make their way towards the Nash.
They're setting up, they're putting down the traps. You see Plux is here, not quite on a ward. He's going to start to get damage. He's going to stop them. Dragoon also doing an excellent job. Chad goes in.
Yeah, they're going for the 1 kill. It's on Flux. Now it's a 4v4. Dardoch misses the grand entrance onto Dragoon, and Kizno secures the Baron. Chad at very low HP and on the wrong side of the map. Not in a good position to go in, unless LiT walk right into his trap. Here comes Dardoch, battle message forward. Messages with a shuffle. It will knock 2 away. Dragoon has a lot of HP, a lot of damage to work with. He Stormbringers forward, and Chad has to flash away. Message is still free, and he gets locked down by the unstoppable onslaught, but Dragoon and the rest of his team are here to peel. Teleport comes in from Sudsy. It's an all-out brawl here in the Baron pit, but 1 kill will go through, and the ace in the hole from Rockboom will pick up a second.
It was a headshot. He got hit on the trap, so it gave him extended auto attack range. Oh my god. I mean, the kill in the grand scheme of things doesn't change all that much. It's gold in the back pocket of LiT, but it's that feeling. It's that feeling of oppression. It's that sinking feeling for Mirage Alliance that the expectations for this team may have been a little too high. And now Sudsy, he's going to die again. He's going to have teleported back into this play. And LiT with a Baron, with a Turo Baron buff, are going to move on. They're going to get all of these outer turrets at this point. Messages on the top side as well alongside his top laner. So much gold just got into the back pocket of LiT. And now they're looking to potentially make a huge upset in the first round of the promotion tournament.
3,500 gold is their lead right now. LiT Esports trying to give Mirage Alliance more losses than they had in the entire second qualifier. That gold graph looking very good for our blue team, our number 4 seed out of the NACL queue, as they're looking to continue to push forward, get themselves even closer to a spot in the NACL.
We talked about it coming into this series. LiT, it's a full new roster. They have barely had a month and a half of time with each other because of substitutions, of people leaving. LiT, they almost didn't even qualify for this event. They had to wait for the grand finals for Coachify to end up losing to Mirage Alliance, where finally Coachify lose. They come in as the very last seed thanks to their points and their previous performance in the first qualifier of summer. And now they're looking to do what was thought to be impossible. LiT now, it's 1 game away. They are barreling down. They have 40 seconds. Dragon spawning in 50. Mirage Alliance, how do they get back into this? How do they find another engage? And maybe it's here.
Starts right here. Alorum going in with the unstoppable launch on the bomb. Does a lot of damage. Rockboom trying to free hit. Sudsy gets 1 kill. It is just 1, but it might deny the Baron for now. Bottom lane inhibitor turret will fall. Don't think that LiT can push for any more.
Dragon spawning in 30. They have a numbers advantage. 35 seconds. So Dragoon will spawn shortly after this Dragon does, and he can TP into this play. Mirage Alliance, they need to triage the situation, push out some of these waves, specifically in mid. Doesn't seem like LiT are giving them any quarter at that.
Oh man. Still a lot of game left to play here, Alk, but LiT Esports on the verge of doing something that nobody expected!
Oh!
What?
Guys?
Dardoch did not press the sweeper, apparently.
Well, he knows the ultimate's coming. There's not much that he can do. There's no one around him. He can't really shield himself, so kind of a tough situation. I don't know if he had the lock it up or the redemption available. Maybe just not expecting how much damage that Caitlyn ult was going to do. Caitlyn ult did get changed a couple patches ago to be increased with the crit. Okay. Now Chad on a flank. What can he do? And he's
not
out.
Much. Yeah, that Sundisk doing a lot to prevent Mirage Alliance from pushing in onto Messages and the rest of his team, as the siege will continue in the 4v5, still now 4v4 with Dragoon top lane, and now Dardoch looking to respawn. That inhibitor tower does not fall. Chad still looking for engage. Mirage Alliance, the clock is ticking. They gotta keep trying to make plays, or else this game gonna get out of hand.
Dragoon even fixing the top wave, recognizing that he can teleport for this. Well, if they're showing a lot of, forethought, showing a lot of cerebral, like, hey, we're thinking about where the map is right now. We're all just like all barreling down mid, trying to get whatever is done. To be a 3rd Hextech Dragon here for LiT. A 4,000 gold lead for them. Rockboom now ticking over to level 16, so that ace in the hole is only to get more and more dangerous. We need to see kind of how LiT are able to close this out. If they win, right? If they win this game, win this series, they go on to face Team Fish Taco. And that would be an incredible story for some of these players, but especially for Mirage Alliance, they do not want to start in the lower bracket. They are not a team that we expected to go down. And like you had said, they will have gotten more losses in this tournament already than they've had the entirety of the second qualifier for Summer.
Could be a final fight. Neo getting heavily targeted right now. Kisno with a 3-man cyclone, and Dragoon will dunk him down once again. Featherstorm doing a lot of damage. Dardoch looking for an engagement. Chat with the Cataclysm will buy some time. Kisno has to dash away, and Mirage Alliance do not lose a man. LiT Esports still in a good position, but Mirage Alliance are fighting tooth and nail to stay alive.
Massive win though for LiT. You look at the summoner spells used specifically, it is a flash for Dardoch and a flash for Chad taken away. Those are going to be so important when we look at the Baron spawning in 30 seconds. They're going to have to reset. They have Hextech portals to get back into position. And right now, Kisno needs to prioritize getting a recall and getting HP back because, hey, he's using some of that jungle privilege, but it is going to be less and less meaningful if Sudsy gets damage down. He does have a Guardian Angel, which will allow him to regenerate if he does fall. And we need to see how LiT can set up. They have a Caitlyn and an Azir. This Baron is going to be paper mache. They need to be careful. If they all back here, yes, they'll be able to reset. They need to stagger some of these recalls. Make sure that they're all not going to be pressured because that could have been a Baron there for Mirage if they decided to walk into Fog of War.
Yeah, the Baron's up now. It's still a close game. If Mirage Alliance are able to find a good angle, we saw how, LiT aren't able to just wipe the floor with the gold advantage that they have at this point. However, we have to look towards Rock Boom now. 4 completed items, including a Guardian Angel, already has so much range. He is going to be a problem unless somebody from Mirage can engage onto him.
Sundisk spawned in. Even with that Baron, you have 2.5 minutes before the Dragon spawns. Soul point here for LiT. We've talked about the story for messages. Rock Boom, I mean, this guy literally got DQ'd after this tournament. He was on Aporia during Summer OQ2. His team unfortunately got stomped. He was part of a 20,000 gold deficit versus Winthrop. That team fell. They're making this engage.
Here we go. Last ditch effort for Mirage Alliance. Plux gets caught out. He goes golden, but Kisno comes in with a Cyclone. Baron is still very low. Plux will die to the last hand of the Baron, and a fight is erupting on the top side of the map. It is 2 kills now going over. Mirage Alliance, no! Are they going to turn the fight around? Neo has himself a couple of kills, and it looks like Rock Boom and Messages still going to try to fight this one out.
Okay,
looking for going in.
We're shifting back. We've got Zillion on the case. All right.
I don't really know what happened. Let's take a look. Let's step back.
If we have a replay, that'd be cool. I think for everybody included. We just forget that happened.
It's a 3-0.
Yeah?
Mirage Alliance do win that fight. Messages and Rock Boom are still very strong, but a teleport is coming in from Alorum. They want this Baron.
And those were huge summoner spells out. It's also Dragoon and Kisno already dead. We already saw that Flux moving on forward. Oh, they're using the Hextech. They might be able to find Rock Boom.
Here comes the Unstoppable Onslaught. Rock Boom will flash away. Mirage Alliance, they make their way back towards the Baron. They are 5 strong. Dragoon has just respawned, but Kisno is nowhere near. A huge shuffle from Messages, but Sudsy doing a ton of damage with the Satchel Charge, and Alorum will flash forward and pick up a shutdown. Dragoon trying to fight out in a 1v3, but the Volley Baron not able to do too much damage. Rock Boom's at 1 HP. Kisno finally arriving to the fight. Nobody can fight, and nobody can go for this Baron. Dragoon gonna cancel some backs here with the Sky Splitter, but they cannot chase forward just by himself. Can Kisno and Plux rejoin forces with him? It looks like Mirage Alliance are going to be able to escape.
All right, and with this slow chase, with them stopping all of these recalls, 40 seconds until Dragon, they still have Hextech Gauge. We'll see how Mirage Alliance are able to get back in. But that gold lead is completely evaporated. It is gone. It is completely even. We are also getting to that point where items are starting to get completed, where, item builds are finishing out. So gold is going to mean a little bit less. They're going to immediately turn back onto this Baron.
And look at where LiT are. There's nobody there. Plux, Kisno, and Rock Boom are all around the Dragon. And Mirage Alliance can try to make this play. Dragoon has spotted them out. And now they realize that it is way too late to try and contest. 36 minutes in, Mirage Alliance have a Turo Baron buff.
They can move on immediately.
Look at the soul,
seeing this. They're trying to start up this Dragon and take this. This should be gone. Want to see if Mirage Alliance will try to chase them out of the pit.
There it is. Hextech Soul belongs. A huge dunk down from Chad. Will the Cataclysm be enough? They shut him down, but it's already 2 kills for LiT.
Wait a minute,
Sudsy is very low. The Stormbringer forward and Dragoon will pick up another kill. It is just Neo and Dardoch alive, but they might not be for much longer. It is a 4v2 as LiT are chasing into the base.
I don't know how many times I've now seen Sudsy in the last 5 minutes take Rock Boom to sub 100 HP. But he is just landing bomb after bomb. We get to see a little bit of how this composition should work. That's 3 members down, and they still have GAs. They have a full, almost a full HP Azir here. They have a wave in the bottom lane. You see Dragoon is even pushing on top. This could be 3 inhibitors here, as that Soul is going to do so much damage.
The Baron is still in the hands of Neo and Dardoch. That might be enough for them to stall this game out. Alorum spawns in 10. Chad is just about to reach base as well. LiT Esports not going to go for more. They will take all 3 inhibitors and try to get out safely. Dardoch looking for an engage, but is not going to find it. What a game, what a series we have here, Dimitri.
You know, if you told me at the beginning of the day Winthrop win 2-0, I could have expected that. If you would have told me that we have 4 games in total across the day, I could have expected that. If you told me it was LiT that was going to be going up 2-0 against Mirage Alliance, I would have called you crazy. Crazy. I've been crazy before. They've got some plastic rats, whatever. I don't remember the copy pasta for that. But LiT are on the precipice. We have now an Elder Dragon spawning in 4 minutes. This Baron buff has not been useful for Mirage Alliance, and it's going to come down to execution at this point. Everything before this moment doesn't really matter. All of it is a footnote for what is to be an epic final battle between these two. Mirage Alliance, they picked up all of their items. Neo's now getting a Maw of Malmortius at this point. Chad going for all of the ability haste in the world, getting that Frozen Heart finally, so he is going to be a menace in the backline, but everything has led to this moment. Will Mirage Alliance be able to keep their spot and move on to a 3rd game? LiT, unlikely heroes, and people who are doubted every step of the way. Every single one of these players, Dragoon, doubted. Kissnote, doubted after his spring performance. Messages, Rockboom, Flux, all of them not thought to be good enough here in the promotion tournament.
Might be the final play. Here comes Kizno and Dragoon. They're flashing forward. The front line has locked down Neo, and the 80 carry is close to death, but he has enough healing with them off to stay alive. It is a 1-for-1 for now. Messages tries to go for the shuffle, but does not commit. Only 1 summoner spell out just now as Kizno, who does have that Guardian Angel expired as they get another kill onto Alorum. Sudsy does go down to Rockboom, and that might be it. Neo and Dardoch are trying to save the game, and that's just toss them forward. It is a 1v3. Is Neo strong enough to take it? Klux goes golden. They stunned him up. Rockboom finishes it. Expectations be damned. Doubters be denied. The #1 seed have a fire lit beneath them. Your last team in will sweep Mirage Alliance and take the first step towards promotion in 2024.
That's the freest 2 I've ever seen in my entire life. It started off with a pentakill for Dragoon, and it ends with LiT sending Mirage Alliance to the lower bracket. I don't know what else to say. I like, what?
This probably the most unlikely outcome that any of us could have predicted coming in. LiT Esports. They didn't make it out of quarterfinals in the second qual. They top 8. They had a completely new roster. They looked pretty out of form coming into this promotion tournament, but something happened in these last couple of weeks.
Just win.
They found the magic. They gelled together, and now Dragoon, Kizno have a chance to reclaim glory after qualifying into the NACL last spring. They have a chance to do it again.
All right, well, we're going to throw it to a quick break. We're going to try and get an interview afterwards with one of our winners, so stay tuned. And oh man.
Get us out of here.
Subway refreshed their ingredients, their menu, and now they're slicing their meats fresh. That's why their new Subway Series subs are preferred by this champ.
And this future champ. Pros who are talking heads prefer fresh sliced turkey.
And pros who use their heads prefer fresh sliced ham.
More deli meats are preferred by this QB.
And preferred by his old backup QB.
And if we prefer it, we know you'll prefer it too. Is this slice as good as your tennis slice?
I can't answer that, but yes.
Thanks, Subway. Thanks, Aturo. And thanks for Verizon for this post-game interview. I am joined by the victorious marksman, Rock Boom of LiT Esports. Dude, you got in the call. You were so excited with this win. What was going through your guys' heads, the team's heads? You feel like this is a big upset.
Yeah, like, going into it, we knew we had a chance of beating them, but obviously Mirage Alliance just won OQ, so they're a scary opponent, right? But, like, after Dragoon got that pentakill, like, we just... Our energy just went through the roof, and everyone was so hyped. And then going into game 2, we're like, okay, we got this. Like, we're ready. And I think we did really good at drafting. Shout out to our coaches, Fawn and Elijah. Really good at that. And yeah, we just came in with a plan. The plan worked, and we were super excited, super happy because it's such a big upset, and at least in my eyes, because I don't really play at this level that much, right?
Well, hey, man, if you keep on playing the way you did, especially in that second game, I think we might see more of you playing at this level, because you had a damn good game on the Caitlyn. You were kind of talking about the game plans you guys had. Really seems like you guys are sticking to what you guys know as a team. Vayne and Caitlyn in 2 games. I don't think any other marksman is going to play that in 2 games this tournament. So what kind of goes into that strategy for you, like when it comes to building comps with the team? Because it very much seems like it's built around you guys as players.
Well, usually our coach kind of gets all the drafts ready, does a lot of prep, and asks us what we want, and like we kind of have like a meeting for draft, get everything ready. But mainly for me, like why I picked like the Vayne and Caitlyn was just good. Like seeing that draft game 1, like I saw the Ziggs and I was okay. Just I'm a confident player, like so I'm like pick me Vayne, like I got this, trust me, right? So it's kind of like that because I saw the angle and I saw it was really good. And then even game 2 was actually we kind of had a plan. Like we wanted to play the Caitlyn into Zaya, so it went well.
Yeah, definitely a champ that has seen some recent buffs. And I know coming in here, you kind of said you picked up Kate because of Saber. And watching like some of those old marksman videos, like who do you draw inspiration from, like as a player, especially kind of coming up now? Because it feels like League's so much more figured out as a game. So like what kind of content do you like to digest as a player? Like who do you really look up to, or like who do you try and model your play out?
Well, I usually watch like a lot of the Korean VODs, like search up like Korean POV, ADC VODs, you know, like that's kind of where I usually look at my stuff. But the whole Saber story is kind of funny because like he kind of coached me when I was like D4, and he teach me Caitlyn when double headshot first came out. You remember that, you know that mechanic?
Oh yeah.
I was so addicted to that. I was like double headshotting everyone in solo queue and whatnot. And then they kind of got rid of it. I stopped playing Caitlyn, and then they added that back actually. So I was talking to my coach. I was like, I love Caitlyn because of that mechanic alone. And yeah, we picked it back up.
Yeah. So I do want to actually give you a moment too, because we have a lot of players competing from collegiate in this event. You're one of them. You're currently at St. Clair University. You guys actually had a heck of a run in CLOL as a newer program. What did you guys take? Top 8? Was it this past split? Yeah, no shame going down to Maryville, but what are your hopes here, like as a collegiate marksman trying to break into the tier 2 scene as well? Is this something that you're looking to go pro in? Is this something that you're like, you love competing as a team, just looking to do some more and improve for your college? What are your aspirations?
My aspirations is to go pro. Like that's my main goal. I want to get there. And to be honest, I couldn't like a year ago, St. Clair was the only school that really gave me an opportunity. So I was like, okay, like I'm gonna take it, right? And then I came to school here, and for me, like coming in person was a big difference for me. Just being around all esport people, because I was always at home, like in my dungeon playing solo queue every day, you know. But like being in a facility, having teammates around you all the time was just like made me love the game more. And with that, I kind of improved a lot with that. So like I feel like this year, just getting in person just helped me so much.
Yeah, man. No, I as someone like who built a collegiate program themselves, when we got our arena, it totally changed the game. It's so much more fun to come into practice and everything. I totally get that. And it's awesome to hear. I love the energy that you have in the interview. Hope you bring that to your collegiate team and this team and for the rest of the tournament. And so hopefully we get to talk to you again, Rock Boom. But I do want to open up the floor before we say goodbye to you. Any thank you, shout outs, or parting words you'd like to give us?
Well, first off, I want to thank LiT Esports for even allowing me to play on their team, because we all know the story with the all the bans, right? So
yeah,
this is actually a funny story. I gotta tell you, I was at the beach, like kind of drunk. Not gonna lie, kind of drunk. I get a call. Fawn's like, yo, you gotta join the team. I'm like, what? You join the team? And then Yeah, so Fawn's the go for that, and then I got on Lit. And here we are.
Oh man, well hey, I love that, Rock Boom. I feel like that was a good choice made by you and Fawn to hop on in, as you were a big part of the team's win and a big 2-0 over Mirage Alliance. Best of luck going up against Team Fish Taco. We'll see you later in the tournament, and we'll see you soon, Rock Boom.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, that was fun. That's a fun story, man. Just beach vibing.
Just to be aware, just for everybody's sake. Go to the Leaguepedia page. The age is wrong. Just don't look at that. Don't look at the number.
You know, I heard another story of this where there was a player who actually picked up a call in Spain to try and actually like come on in to help on out. So that's pretty funny. But guys, I understand that we might have a bracket update, as we did have 4 games passed today. Only 4. It was a quick day, and Grapes, this day did not go how we expected.
If you told me to predict what was going to happen, it would probably be 2-1 TA, 2-0 Mirage Alliance. I got both of them wrong coming into today. So that is just a testament to how strong our qualifiers teams are, especially towards the bottom. Just really, really, really good showing out of them. And I'm super excited to watch them play tomorrow, I believe.
Hey, I got mine right. Well, minus the lit one.
Got one of them.
Obviously. I got one of them. I don't think anybody, I think if we saw channel points predictions, people were probably raking in the dough down there.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't think anyone would have gotten lit right in the predictions.
Yeah.
I certainly one of those. I came in this week like pretty confident that Mirage Alliance is actually the favorite out of the 6 teams that we had. And now if they want to make it, they're going to have to win a best of 3 and 2 best of 5s, as that is the road ahead of themselves and Team Ambition. Whereas in the upper bracket, Supernova versus Winthrop, that's a best of 3 that we've seen before. We'll see again here. And then we have Team Ambition versus LiT, as a best of 3 win puts them at a best of 5 away from winning.
So we got to add CO to that. It's Taco going up against LiT here tomorrow, it seems. So still should be a pretty fun series between those teams. I was excited for Mirage to play against Taco, but obviously that didn't happen. So who knows what's going to come us tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
I will say, very exciting to see what ends up happening. But guys, it's been a fun day. I'm really glad that we had the 2 of you joining us.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, there we go. We had to make sure the Fish Taco made it, before we say goodbye to the bracket page.
There we go.
I can't forget about our 10th place Challengers team, as I know that LiT will be taking them very seriously. But honestly, guys, thanks so much for joining us today. It was awesome having you guys who have covered OQs so vigorously throughout the both splits we had join us on the Challengers League broadcast today. So Grapes, Elk, appreciate you guys. I know a lot of people have seen you guys, whether it was LPL for you, Elk, Grapes, OQs, Collegiate, and more as well. But please give these guys a follow. They do great work following OQs. I've been there before too. It's really tough to keep up with all the teams. Really like the insight you guys brought today. I want to give you, Grapes, first off, chance to say any parting words.
I mean, I'll be back here a little bit later this week.
know, yeah.
Just make sure to follow all of these players that are coming up. A lot of them have really great socials presences. They're incredible to watch, and a big shout out to everybody who was able to help us cover the qualifiers from the start of the split to now. Took a lot more than just the 4 of us that you'll be seeing here on this show, so shout out to them.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just going to say, make sure that you're subscribing to Challengers League. It supports the teams, and if potentially one of these teams are going to promote, you're going to be directly helping them. And like Grip said, just make sure that you're following the teams, making sure that you're specifically getting in with the players. They have so much personality, like you were saying. I know Dragoon is already posting some meme screenshots, so you just got to get in on some of that action. And it's really awesome to see a lot of these players who have had a lot of different stories all collide into one, and it was such an excellent broadcast.
No, I mean, that was it was a really fun day, honestly. So shout out to the subs, the partners that we have, Subway, Verizon, Samsung, and specifically Turo. As the LCS Challengers League, it is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car-sharing marketplace, where you can book any car you want for just about any occasion. So head on over to Turo.com, forget about those boring rental cars, and find some fun ones at Turo. Thanks so much to them for supporting the teams, the players directly, for everyone tuning in, the fans, and most importantly, of course, the people behind the scenes help us put this together, and the people that compete for us. As we had an entertaining day of games. We'll be back for more games tomorrow, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/LCS_Challengers. We'll see you then.